YouTube, my name is Jake Asman. Welcome in to my channel. It is Monday, October 4th. But if you're a Jet fan here in 2021, it is the first victory Monday of the New York Jets season. In this video, I want to specifically talk about what Zach Wilson did yesterday in the Jets win over the Titans. Before I get to that, though, please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe down below. If you watch the video every day and you still haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? What can I do to get you subscribed? Just do it right down below. Like this video as well, and please comment your thoughts afterwards. Would love to hear what you thought about Zach Wilson's epic performance yesterday in the Jets' first win of the season. So by now you know Jets 27, Titans 24 in overtime, and we saw this Jets offense come to life in the second half behind their quarterback, behind what we watched was the coming out party for Zach Wilson. And let's specifically talk about what he did in the second half of this game. Zach Wilson's second half stat line: 14 of 22, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns, 10.5 yards per attempt, and maybe most importantly, 0 turnovers. And the Jets went out there and scored 20 points in the second half. He was phenomenal. And I'll tell you what, if you look at Zach Wilson's performance yesterday, and I'm not comparing him to Sam Darnold because it'd be silly. They're in two separate places in their careers. But if you compare Zach Wilson to the other rookie quarterbacks in his draft class, which to me is the only comparison you could make right now, Zach Wilson's performance yesterday was the best performance a rookie quarterback has had this season. You know, you look at Justin Fields, he picked up his first win yesterday. He was okay. He also threw two, he also had 2 turnovers. Trevor Lawrence, I thought he actually played really well on Thursday against the Bengals, but they didn't win the game. So this performance by Zach Wilson was the best performance to this point a rookie quarterback has had so far in the 2021 season. So keep that in mind when we talk about Zach Wilson and what he did. Now, there's a couple things I want to discuss with him overall here. I thought the fact that he went out there and started slow once again. This offense started slow. I think it's telling that he went out there and was able to get better and better as the game went on. There's going to be a lot of people today that are deleting their tweets, deleting their, or, pretending like they didn't have takes about what Zach Wilson was because he struggled through the first, 3 weeks of the season. Really, just the last two. I've said I thought he played pretty well against the Panthers, specifically in that second half. But you tell me, when was the last time a Jets quarterback had a half like what we saw from Zach Wilson yesterday? And you know what to me is the most exciting part? The most exciting part is that even with the win yesterday, there's still some moments where you look at it and go, he could get better. He can improve on that. Right? If Zach Wilson makes that throw to Corey Davis at the end of this game, the Jets win, and Tennessee never gets the ball back to go down the field and tie the game. He would tell you that he's got to make that throw. Another example, if Zach Wilson doesn't take a sack on 3rd and goal and just throws the ball away when LaFleur called the rollout, which, by the way, I hated that play call. I talked about it in the post-game video yesterday, but he knows you should have thrown that one away. Robert Saleh talked about it afterwards. It's better to learn from your mistakes after a win than a loss. So Wilson's performance was awesome, and there's still just so much meat on the bone still of what he could tap into. That's what excites me. It's like this is just the beginning. Like, this is the first of what I think will be a bunch of really good games from this kid this year. He had the coming out party yesterday, and it was nice to see. But it's some of the mistakes that he knows he can learn from and correct them. I think that should excite every single Jet fan here about what we saw from Zach Wilson yesterday. I mean, I have some numbers here that I pulled up. Wilson's pass to Corey Davis, 53-yard touchdown. It traveled 56.8 yards in the air. It was the longest completion by a Jets quarterback over the last 5 seasons, longest since Josh McCown in 2017. That's from Next Gen Stats. Also, here's a stat I saw as well. Rookie quarterback since 2015 to throw 2 50-plus yard completions in the same game. You ready for this list? Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, and now Zach Wilson. So to me, the biggest takeaway is that you saw why the Jets were so high on Zach Wilson yesterday. You saw some of the throws he made at BYU on the tape yesterday when you watch it back. And I think every Jet fan has been watching back some of these throws yesterday A couple of the more underrated plays in this game. Obviously, the bomb to Davis was incredible. The bomb to Cole was incredible. But how about in the overtime period, 3rd and 2, Wilson drops an absolute touch pass dime into a bucket that hit Keelan Cole. I mean, that was just a great play, a great throw by a young quarterback getting comfortable in the pocket. He's going to continue to learn how to take the check down, how to make plays with his legs and pick up yardage. But the biggest thing that you can't teach is his ability to escape and make plays with his legs. And you saw that yesterday. And that is what's going to separate him from being a good quarterback to potentially being a great quarterback. He was drafted 2nd overall because of the athleticism, mobility, and arm strength he has. Like, I watched Mac Jones last night, and I thought he played very well in a big spot Sunday Night Football. But Mac Jones can't make some of the throws that Zach Wilson can make. And that's just a fact. And that's the difference between Mac Jones being drafted where he was and Zach Wilson being drafted where he is. Like, there's a level to quarterback play. And Zach Wilson makes plays that, just very few quarterbacks can make. The throw he made to Davis for the touchdown when the game was tied at 17, the 53-yard bomb to Davis. How many quarterbacks in the NFL can make that throw? I was thinking a lot about this. Like, obviously, Mahomes can, Josh Allen can, Aaron Rodgers can, but it's a very short list of guys that could, in that spot, and not just in that spot, but in the moment, right? That's a clutch moment. The game's tied in the 4th quarter. Can you make the big play? And he proved he could. And then I love the fact that even afterwards, I just briefly mentioned this, that he's all frustrated the Jets couldn't win the game in overtime with the offense. It had to come down to, the missed field goal at the end. So, I mean, those are just things that when you break down the performance he had, I mean, 21 of 34, 297, 2 touchdowns, and the game-winning drive in overtime. In a vacuum, that's great, but it's the individual throws. It's the throw he made to Jamison Crowder where he botched the snap and then still was able to keep his composure and execute that throw. And then the touchdown to Crowder where he needed to show off the laser and threw a bullet into Crowder into the right corner of the end zone right by the pylon. It's throws like that that are special. So what we saw yesterday is a microcosm of what's to come for him if he has time. He was only sacked once. The line did a much better job protecting him. That has to be a thing. I looked at some of the numbers for the offensive line. You know who had 2 great games yesterday for the Jets? Morgan Moses was phenomenal playing that tackle position. And Elijah Vera Tucker had by far and away his best game as a pro. So if the offensive line can give Zach Wilson time, he's going to make plays and he's going to get better and better as the year goes on. And that's why Jet fans, we got to continue to show patience here because there's going to be some games, I'm sure, where the team doesn't play well, they struggle, they get beat. Now, you hope they don't get beat like they did against Denver. You hope they don't get beat like Wilson did against New England where he threw 4 interceptions. But there's going to be some losses along the way. But there's also going to be some great moments and some great wins along the way as well. Like, this is not a team to me that's only winning, 1 or 2 games this year. I think the Jets have a chance to be competitive in a lot of their games coming up. Look at the schedule. I think they have a great chance to win on Sunday in London against the Falcons. So we got like a small taste of what's to come. And if the Jets can continue to build around Zach, improve this O-line, continue to get him better weapons, let LaFleur get more comfortable as an OC. I thought overall he called by far and away his best game. We saw more screen passes. We saw more design runs, different trick plays, even like the end around play that they ran to Berrios was a nice touch. It's good to see the Jets finally putting together a complete game. Obviously, the storyline is Wilson and what the defense did. We talked a lot about that yesterday, but from a quarterback standpoint, we got a nice taste of what I think is to come for this team going forward. And that should excite everybody because when was the last time a Jet quarterback had a half like what Zach Wilson did in this game? When was the last time? I mean, when was the last time a Jet quarterback had 2 touchdowns and 232 yards passing and 0 turnovers and a half? 20 points? I mean, man, if the Jets could just figure out how to start a little faster in these games, they're going to be dangerous. If you project ahead and just imagine what the Jets could do with a better running game helping Zach Wilson, it's going to be dangerous, man. And that's the other thing. I should have mentioned this a little more yesterday. Like, this was all Zach Wilson passing in this game. Like, sure, the Jets had a couple plays on the ground where you're excited, but look at the rushing totals for the Jets yesterday in this win. It's 66 yards rushing. Michael Carter had the longest rush of the day, was 13 yards. Braxton Berrios on the end around I was referring to. It was a nice play, but it only got him 9 yards. It wasn't like it was a touchdown. Tevin Coleman had an 8-yard run. The Jets were not, gashing the Titans on the ground. They were relying on their young rookie quarterback in his fourth career start to go out there and win them a game, and he was able to do it. And that is certainly as impressive as it gets for Jet quarterback standards, given the recent history of this franchise. So overall, I'm excited about where this team's at. I think this week it's going to be fun to talk about a lot of the positives. There's certainly some things they still got to clean up, but that's what happens when you talk about a young football team with a first-year head coach, first-year OC, and a first-year quarterback. I'm going to talk more about the defense and some videos coming up this week. But once again, can't say enough good things about the Jets defense yesterday. If this continues, Jeff Ulbrich is going to get some head coaching consideration for the job he's done as this team's defensive coordinator. I mean, outside of the hardcore Jet fan, how many guys going into the year could you name? Could you say were brand players on this defense? But the way they've developed some of these young guys, like John Franklin Myers and Bryce Huff on the defensive line, the way that they have gotten Bryce Hall to play like a legitimate CB1 in that secondary, the way they played even without Marcus May in this game yesterday was so damn impressive. So more on the defense coming up this week, but I'd be remiss to not mention just what they did yesterday, the pressure they got. I mean, when was the last time a Jets defensive line impacted a game the way we saw them do it yesterday? It was nice to see. So overall, great win. Enjoy Victory Monday, Jet fans. And it's nice to actually talk about this team coming off a win that matters for the first time since I started doing these daily videos on YouTube. Once again, my name is Jake Asman. If you missed the post-game reaction video, I did it after the game yesterday, about 30 minutes, comprehensive Jets talk. Take a look, take a view of that, so to speak. And thanks, as always, for watching the channel. You let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you make of Zach Wilson's epic performance in the Jets' overtime win over the Titans? Subscribe down below, like this video, and let me know your thoughts. Have a good Monday, everybody. See ya.